Welcome back, everybody. Da-da-da, da-da-da. We are finally back after a long hiatus. I think that's the word. Hi,
Yeah, that makes sense.
hi. I feel like that doesn't sound right, but I also don't know so many words. I actually started learning that from my kids. So Francie and Maddie, they use all
Who
kinds of
read
words
books?
that I'm like, dude, like, where did you get this vocab? I would have said two. And I'm like, you drive me crazy. Speak regular people.
Oh,
But
what?
crazy holidays. We were gone for a while. We had some scheduling mishaps with traveling and all kinds of crazy stuff, but we're back
Yep.
for a new year.
Yeah.
And
New year, new us.
I ripped my yeah, actually speaking of new, I'm gonna get new skin
Yeah.
because I
Was
ended up
that
ripping my
like
hand today.
225? 225 your
It was
deadlift was?
135 for five. But yeah,
uh,
yeah, actually it was weird. I mean, we were doing deadlifts, but it wasn't anything crazy, and it wasn't even like it wasn't multiple reps in a row, bouncing anything like that. It was
mhm.
like it was three reps from a dead stop, and I felt like I never. But I actually only noticed it when I started putting stuff away. I was like, "What just happened?"
I feel like sometimes that happens if your grip is already tired.
Hmm. I've
And
never
it's
been tired. Never been tired.
not you, just your grip.
Oh, gotcha.
I was surprised last week. I did a hero wad that had 50 pull-ups at the start and 50 pull-ups at the end.
Oh,
And I
did you do them
did
all unbroken?
I did 30 and 20.
Dang, both times?
The second time I did 35 and 15.
Dang.
And I was like, "Holy crap." But I think it's because it was super cold out and I think my hands basically just froze to the bar. It was really easy to hang on and I didn't rip at all. Like not
Oh,
even
that's
like a
awesome.
blister underneath. Yeah.
Well,
So, moral
actually,
of the story,
uh,
ice your pull-up bar before you do your pull-ups.
right. I'll remember that. Yeah, people always complain about the bars being cold in the winter, and look at that. That's
Yep.
the way to go.
Yep.
Now, how did you feel after that? Like, did you have like the old sticky elbow?
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was surprised. It wasn't horrible. I did take arnica that night,
Mm,
anticipating the T-Rex arms.
yeah. Yeah, I'm almost afraid to do more than 20 at a time in workouts. I almost just don't want to
Hmm.
just for that reason. It's like, man, I want to be able to move my elbows tomorrow.
I do think also because through December, almost every day, I did 100 pull-ups, and
That'll
I
do it.
noticed a big difference in pulling with like my back and my lats
Mhm.
versus my arms. And so then I think doing those pull-ups, doing kipping pull-ups, I could tell I was pulling differently,
Yeah.
which was interesting.
So how did you do those pull-ups when you did them? Like, was it all
Um,
strict? Was it kipping? Were you doing those in sets how did you do that?
all strict. I alternated days between pull-ups and chin-ups, so underhand, overhand, um, depending on how I felt that day. Most of them I did in sets of 10 or 15. Like there were some
Okay,
days I did sets of 15 through the whole thing, which was awesome.
cool.
But they were mostly broken up throughout the day. So maybe do like two or three sets and then go and whatever, working, doing whatever. And then it was pretty much like every time I left. So if I go in the garage to get in the car, just do a set or two. Then I come back in the garage, do a set or two. Go get
That's
something from
cool.
the garage fridge, do a couple sets.
That's cool.
Yeah. But I think that did make a big difference in like kipping pull-ups and even just the mechanics of it.
So you did 3,000 pull-ups over December?
3,000.
Is that the right number?
You and your vocabulary. 3,000?
I'm trying to increase my vocabulary, so I'm making up words.
Yeah. Yeah, like 3,000 pull-ups.
Dang.
I also did push-ups, sit-ups, and squats, a
Oh,
100 of
awesome.
each every day.
Dang. That's pretty impressive.
But
And
yeah, I was surprised.
I mean, the funny thing is that when you first say that, it sounds really difficult, but especially like the fact that you're breaking that up throughout the day. And even, you used to do the 1 minute workouts and,
Hmm.
just breaking those up into small pieces. And now you have the volume without the intensity,
Right.
which is often great for just building capacity.
Yep. Yeah, and like I said, the mechanics totally changed. It reminded me of before Chris Moore died. He was working with, I forget that guy's name. He does a bunch of like strongman stuff.
Rob Orlando? Oh
John.
no, the strong fit guy.
Yeah.
Um, Shoot, I
It's
forgot
a
his name
friend.
too. Julian.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Julian Pinot? Is that
Yeah,
it?
that sounds right.
But I remember a video they did where he was trying to get Chris to pull with his back, to
Mm,
strengthen his back. And so they were doing sled pulls with a rope, like hand over hand.
yeah,
Because he said, like, if you pull with your biceps, like they're gonna burn out. And once they burn out, you won't be able to pull anymore unless you use your back. And I feel like that's exactly what happened. Like if you want to do that volume of pull-ups,
yeah.
you have to, like, your body's going to be like, well, I can't pull with my bicep anymore.
Right.
You have to start using your back. And I could feel the difference for sure.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So Eric, we were talking about just the holidays and stuff, and
Yep.
so lots of stuff went on, and we want to break down a little bit of this last year, the holidays, and then going into next year. And I think, you know, most people are taking this time, or they did take this time, or they're actually, I feel like people think that they took some time to go, all right, here comes this year. And really, they just threw a bunch of crap at the wall. They're like, I want to do this. And they're like, I'm just going to try it. And there was really no plan. But
Hmm.
I think that it's really important to go over your year and set yourself up for your next one.
Definitely.
So, what are some big takeaways that you've had over this year?
Oh, well, I was thinking about the holidays. Like yesterday, I spent some time just thinking about this whole like holiday trip that we took.
Hmm.
Um,
Which was
one,
pretty interesting.
yeah, it was like National Lampoons. Yeah, we drove, all right, so it's like 15, 16 hours to Wisconsin through an ice storm with cars and semis all over the ditches, like just brutal.
And when I was talking to Lisa about it, she's like, "Yeah, it was like 15 hours of driving what I felt like was too fast for conditions."
I thought everyone was asleep. It wasn't until we got there that she was like, I did not sleep. I could not sleep. I'm like, oh, well, good to know. Thanks for not gasping the whole time as I'm trying to drive. 'Cause, yeah, it was bad. It was real bad. So we had that. Then drove from Wisconsin to Chicago, got a flat tire on the interstate along the way. Then driving back, what should have been like 14 hours back to Colorado, hit a snowstorm, added another hour. So yeah, we got all that, plus the flu mixed in along the way.
Yeah.
And it's like, not to mention like extreme sleep deprivation. There was all of those things. And I was thinking that like I could look at all of that and think, what a crappy trip. Or you can look back and laugh at it, be like, that was a memorable trip.
Yeah.
And even learning and practicing to laugh at it in the moment.
Yeah.
because I feel like on the way, starting the trip, I was able to do that. And like getting a flat tire, having to like lay face down in slush, in the
Oh man.
Chicago gray slush to change the tire and stuff. I was like, okay, this is pretty funny. After being sleep deprived for like a week and making that last trip and then hitting snow and then being stuck behind this plow with strobe lights flashing in my eyes and going 30 miles an hour for an hour,
But you had a clean
I was,
street. So
yeah, yeah. But like that, I was like having a conversation actively in my mind during that of like just relax. There's nowhere to go. Just take a breath. And then the other voice saying, "This is stupid. This guy needs to get out of the way. I don't want to add an hour to the trip." And so as I was thinking back, I was thinking like learning to laugh in the moment of those things is huge
yeah.
because like otherwise it's just a spiral. Like otherwise you get to your destination and now you're just pissed off.
Yeah.
And I was thinking if this was a sitcom, everyone would be laughing. Like the
You're right.
audience would think it's hilarious. One more crazy foible going on in the story. And so like if I could laugh at it if someone else is going through it,
Yeah.
then I should be able to laugh at it as I'm going through it. And I think
Yeah.
that makes, I mean, even talking about goals down the road, like there are challenges, things you fall off the wagon, things get really hard, there are crappy days. And if you can look at it and laugh and be like, man, that's entertaining. Someone's enjoying this. Like it makes it a lot easier to get through it and keep moving forward.
Yeah. Actually, one of the things that I absolutely hate is right around that new year, you have so many Facebook posts and all that stuff about how crappy everything is and how I hope this next year goes better. And that is that victim mentality. All these things happen to me, and I hope they don't happen again. And I have nothing that I can do to make it any better. And like I literally like I'll have to unfollow people. I will like I just obviously I'll stay off of things. Actually, something happened that was fantastic. Meta has messed with how stuff is how it is when you go on your account, and especially so
Hmm.
because I have a business account, it goes right to that, and it doesn't show anything in my normal feed. So it's all things that
Oh.
it's only business things, and it's not interesting at all. And so I don't go on it very often because I would have to actively go into something, But it like when I would go on it, like maybe I saw myself tagged in something or whatever
Hmm.
it was, it's like seeing all these things. And you guys, there are going to be obstacles all year, every year. That's it. Just accept it.
Yep.
And what are you going to do? And I think that this is huge. I mean, uh, over this last year, like actually these last multiple years, there's been tons of challenges that I've had. I mean, leaving the firehouse, and now my source of income is shut down, and then going to a different building. Like, I mean, just there was so many crazy things that happened, and you can either keep going or you can lay down and go like I hope that this gets better, and it's like no, like I am not stopping.
Yep.
And um and yeah, like when I see that kind of stuff, and strangely enough, I feel like this holiday, because we had a bunch of weird stuff. So we had a flat tire. We were actually supposed to be going to see the family. We were coming back, we're on the expressway, we got a flat tire. I was actually supposed to go get a haircut, and then our um, our lug wrench that we had stripped. It's the first time we used it. Then so we waited. They're supposed to be the IDOT helpers. We were 2 miles south of where they go, so we had to wait for a state trooper. And I specifically asked when I called the emergency number or whatever, are the state troopers going to help me change my tire? I need the tools Like I can do it. I just need these tools. And they're like, yeah. The state trooper gets there like 45 minutes later, and it's like, we don't change tires. I was like, okay. So we went into their trunk, and they had a spare tire and like some tools, and their lug wrench didn't fit. We had to call somebody, and so we called Autumn, and she went out of her way and found us on the expressway with a lug wrench that she had to get from her neighbor, and uh, and and so we're changing it, and the jack that we had broke. Like the tire's up, it smashed my finger. I'm okay. Don't worry, I'm okay. But it was like that. I mean, we could have called a tow truck, but everything seemed like it was supposed to happen like this. And so you
Yep.
you you keep going that little bit, and it's like, dang it. But guess what? We got the tire, we got the haircut. We went and hung out with family, and I'll tell you what, and then yeah, now everybody was sick, and it like went through multiple people, and I think that one thing that was great about that was it let everything just be chill. It's like when family comes in, I feel like we always try and squeeze as much time as possible, and it's like, you know what? Let's go home and go to bed. It's 9 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. Instead of staying up till 1, and then let's reconvene at 10 o'clock, and it's just like it's a mess. And I feel like we still got to have quality time
Hmm.
over that time, and it just was more relaxed. And I think that you got to look at those things and go, all right, these were things that you could say were bad, but what is some good out of it? Um, what can we do so that it doesn't happen again? Like I'm gonna get a different lug wrench. I'm gonna, little things like that. And guess what? That's going to make my next year better, right?
Yep.
The next time, and I swear we've had about 15 flat tires in the last like 6 months. It's like I don't know what's going on, but it's been absolutely insane. But now, guess what? I'm more prepared. So hopefully, if this happens again, because guess what, dude, tires happen.
Yep.
Do you expect your tire to run forever and not get a flat? Do you expect your car to not break down? Do you expect that you are never going to get a hole in your windshield from the salt truck? Or it's like, if you do, you're dumb. Let's just face it.
Yeah. Right.
But
You're setting yourself up to
yeah,
be mad at the world forever.
but yeah. But I'll tell you what. One thing that we did last year that actually we even have transferred into this next year was writing down our goals. And so we did family goals. I want to do Natalie and I still have to sit down and do like us relationship goals. Got business goals, and so we have a board now. I'm trying to, I can't see it. But last year this is the first time that we did this, and we did all but I think two things on our goal board, and there was a lot. And one of them was we said that we were going to go rock climbing 3 times. We went once, and the other one was going to a Bulls game. And Shane did, but the rest of us didn't. That was it. We had vacations, we had like going to concerts, we had just like all these things. And when we put it down, when we talked about it, and then now when it's there, you can start making a plan. And
Hmm.
so, guess what? I had a fantastic year, right? Because for all intents and purposes, I don't care that I didn't go to a Bulls game. You know what I mean? I would like
Yeah.
to. And I got to do all these other things. We scheduled how many vacations we were going to have, or just like trips, or any of that kind of stuff. Reading books and all that stuff. We built the year, and other things happened, but we got our stuff done.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. It's like all really what happened is your focus is on this list of things that you did,
Hmm.
where like the flat tires still happened. People still got sick. There were still all kinds of obstacles and hurdles. You just aren't focusing on those. You're focusing on the things that you laid out and planned out and actually did.
Right.
And if you don't have that plan, you don't have things that you're looking forward to or that you can look back on happily, then all you've got left is to focus on the crappy stuff.
Oh yeah. Or man, you go around the coffee table with whoever, and that is the mantra is everything sucks. Just talked to somebody today. Just got back from a very cool trip, and I was like, "How was it?" And they're like, "Short." And like, "How was your family?" "Old." It's like, come on. Like you just went to a super awesome place, and I'm not even gonna say because I don't want to call them out, but super awesome, and everything went fine. Especially like right now, people like travel has been insane. So many people with flights canceled, and just trips are absolutely crazy. There's crazy weather, whatever it
Hmm.
is. But you got there, you got back, you got to do the things that you wanted, and it's like if you tell me about your vacation and you started off with traffic or crappy weather, I'm gonna punch you. Like, I'm not looking to hear your crap, right? I want to hear how great of a time you had. And it's so easy to look at the things that we did. And it's almost like we don't want to allow ourselves to have a good time, right? We don't want people to think that it's the same thing with, you go, oh man, I really like you have such a cool job. Well, it's not that great. It's like we want to find that hardship, which this is funny, right?
Hmm.
Because um, we often say out loud that I wish that this was easier. But everything that you do, you pick the hard things. And I think to me, it makes you feel like you've done something, like that you were almost worth something. I felt like that actually when I was a firefighter, you know. And actually, I remember talking to other firefighters, and you go, "Oh, where were you a firefighter at?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm here, and it's not super busy, but when we work, we work." You know what I mean? And every single department says that. And
Hmm.
and you know what? Guess what? Everyone thinks that they work the hardest, and they want to feel like they work the hardest. But it's like not everything has to be hard. It can also be enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a badge of honor. Like you're more noble because you're suffering.
Yeah.
Like there, even some of the other stuff. What were we saying? You were saying something earlier that I was thinking like you're assigning morality to
Hmm.
things. Oh yeah, like good or bad. Flat tire, is it good or bad? I don't know. You've got a fun story now.
Yeah.
Like and like you said,
It's
like
more normal than you
everyone getting
think.
the flu. Yeah, everyone getting the flu. Like it slowed things down. We got some like rest time. So was it good or
Hmm.
bad? Like
Right.
you really don't know. And you can just take the Jocko route
Good.
and say good because there's going to be good. It's going to work out and there's going to be positive from it if you're looking for it.
Yeah. And anybody who doesn't know Jocko, so check him out, Jocko Wilnick. And with that whole good thing, he was telling stories about, um, you know, uh, the mission got postponed. Good, we have more time to plan this. The supply truck didn't come in. Good, we have whatever it is. But the
Hmm.
whole thing was that it's all going to be good. And actually, the Beatles. I think that John Lennon said that everything works out in the end. So if it's not working out, then it's not the end. You know,
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, let's see where this goes because it's gonna work out. And where is this gonna work out? How is it gonna work out? And what am I gonna do to make this work out?
Yeah. Yeah. And really, like, if you still have that victim mentality, when
Mhm.
it works out, you're going to say, yeah, but it really sucked. It wasn't what
Yep.
I was looking for. It took way longer than I wanted it to. Like, okay, did it work out? It did.
Yeah, you know what? So case in point, I've been working with Shane's basketball team. So I've been helping coach, and I've had multiple kids come up to me and they're like, "Hey, I'm sort of afraid to shoot. And I've been telling him, would you just shoot? Like, I want you to shoot. I want you to get fouled. I don't care if they block it. I want you to shoot and I want you to get fouled. Right. And this one kid, like I had been telling him, I was like,
Take the foul.
yeah,
Get
get indignant. Yeah. And so I was like, when you get this rebound, I was like, I want you to go straight back up and I want you to get fouled, you know? And so, and he actually like soon after got a rebound, went back up and he missed completely. Like it might have airballed it, right? And he actually he got subbed out soon after that. And I was like, great job. That's exactly what we wanted you to do. And he's like, but I missed it. And I'm like, did you see anybody else miss it today? Right? I was like, Michael Jordan had I think it's a 49% field goal percentage lifetime. 49.
49.
Yes.
No.
That's what it said.
That's crazy high.
Well, so and guess what? It's less than 50%.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And you're in 6th grade and you've never played before. So keep shooting because you're going to need to if you want to make one. You know, you're going to have to take 10 before you make it. And but when he came in, he's like, but I missed it. It's like, no, you did what you were supposed to do. It didn't get you the exact results that you wanted yet, right? But you need to keep doing those things. And if this is the road, keep doing the things that are getting you on that road, and the success will come.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's really for like new year, new you. People write down the goals, but people typically aren't looking at the process. And like
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing is what are you going to do? What thing do you have to do every day to work toward that goal? Like what's the daily thing that the person who has already achieved that does automatically? Because that's what you
Yeah.
need to look at. It's funny,
Heck yeah.
on the radio yesterday, they were talking with experts, quote unquote experts, but it was like the most PC goal setting thing ever. And they were like, well, goals don't have to be like these hard and fast, like rigid things that you're going for. It could just be an intention. Like if you want to be more creative, your intention is creativity for the year.
What does that
I was
even
like,
mean?
and that was it.
It's garbage.
I'm like, nothing will happen.
Yeah.
0 things will happen if that is your plan. You have
Yeah.
to
Well, you know what?
take that intention. Like, if your
Yeah.
daily task is to review that intention, and that's going to like color the way you look at everything, and maybe then there's a daily routine of being more creative. But like just telling yourself your intention is to be more creative will never happen.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think that's where you start. So you go, I want to be more creative. All right. So I want to be creative daily. And now you keep it going. How could I be creative? Maybe I'm going to write 1
Yep.
minute every day. Maybe I'm going to, I don't know. I don't even know what creative people do,
Draw a
but
picture.
draw a picture.
Doodle for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think that Jerry Seinfeld, he was known for he had to write one joke a day. It could be one crappy joke, but you have to write one joke a day, and he became pretty darn good at it.
Yep. I
You
just
know?
saw a guy that I know. He's a musician. He was like, I forget how many. I think he said he wrote like 60 some songs this last year. Like, yeah,
Dang.
I just 10 minutes a day, I write something.
Yeah.
And he has written
I
60 some songs. And like, if you put out an album a year, he's got like 6 albums just sitting there.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And I think that one thing that I've always struggled with, and this is something that I'm working on, is getting the crappy first draft, right? So I would have trouble writing things like maybe I'm trying to set up a program or like something, and I feel like I always keep changing it as I'm going, and it's like no, just put it all down. Go, I'm missing a ton of crap, right? And now I can go back, but you have to hand in that crappy first draft where it's got all of it, and you can move from paragraph 1 to paragraph 2 without paragraph one being any good. It can be
Hmm.
sucky, you know? And I think that that's one of the most important things. You should have scratch paper with tons of horrible ideas on it, or things that you've tried that did not work. And I think that that's really important. And actually, just going back to something that we were saying, I was looking for something because Marcus Gursey had posted something right around New Year's, um, and he's been a mentor of mine for a while. And he said, set goals so high that they demand an entirely different version of you. And I just feel like that is so money. And like this is the new you. So it's not
Hmm.
like it's like no, I'm taking on these habits, I'm taking on these characteristics that I wanted to have, and it's not just like all right, I'm gonna be creative, right? That is the weakest crap I've ever heard, right? It's like what are you gonna like? What are you really gonna do? And you might
Hmm.
go, I'm gonna be creative. You're like, I'm going to do improv at Second City, you know. And now it's like now I can start setting up these things that I'm going to need to do. I'm going to need to go to improv class. I'm going to need to I don't even know how I got an improv. What the heck?
It's
But
a sign.
there we go.
The problem is you only know like 6 words.
That's a good point. I won't say you're wrong. But yeah, so set up your year and um, and start looking at what do you want to do and make a goal board and have it somewhere. Like we have it over in the dining room so that we can see it, so we can start checking things off. We can audit ourselves, monthly, weekly,
Hmm.
quarterly, whatever it is, and so we can make sure that we're setting ourselves up for a fantastic time. And when every obstacle comes in, we just kick it in the nuts and just keep moving.
Yeah. And like you're saying, like the first rough draft, if you've never planned out goals or, put together daily tasks to achieve a goal, assume that you're making a crappy first draft. At least give yourself, the way you were explaining it made me think of doing a puzzle.
Hmm.
That like you don't do a puzzle in like rows. Like, well, I started here and now I have to go all the way across and find every piece. Like,
Mm,
no, you find like the structure first, get the edges, and then whatever stuff you find, you fill in. You're like, okay, I can do that. I can do this part. I can do this
ooh,
part.
yeah.
And eventually fill the whole thing in. But if you tried to do it from one side and just keep going every piece, it would suck and it would take forever. So like give
Yeah,
yourself the freedom to give yourself a structure and then work on the parts that are easy. Start knocking them out.
right. Absolutely.
Puzzling applies to life big time.
Yeah. I'm choking. But yeah, I mean that's what we're doing. We're finding ourselves like, man, I don't know what the
I
heck
know
I'm
it's an
choking on.
emotional topic. Changing yourself.
Yeah, I mean, so life is a puzzle. We don't know what's coming next. We don't know what pieces we're gonna have. And yeah, I really like that analogy. But yeah, just keep figuring it out. And there's plenty of times that I put pieces together, thought that they worked, and then it's like, oh wait, that's not right. And
Hmm.
I can go, this puzzle is horrible and it's treating me bad. Or I can go, crap, all right, I got these pieces in the wrong spot. Where am I going to put it now?
Yeah. Somebody's hiding the pieces.
But they usually are,
Most
at
no,
least in my
most of the
house.
time they aren't. You just can't find them. But
Mm,
sometimes someone
my
is hiding them.
family is big because we want to be the last one to finish the puzzle.
Yeah.
So, but there you go. Kick victim mentality in the nuts, set up some goals, and set up some
Like
some
routine
steps,
daily
yeah,
tasks.
to get there and have the best year ever. I hope that every year you go, that was my best year ever.
Absolutely. By the way, if you want help, you should just reach out. I'm happy to get on a call and help someone put that together. Like,
Yeah,
name some goals, create some daily habits that are going to make it happen.
absolutely. And because Eric, you are really good at that. Where can they reach out to you?
Eric McGathy on Instagram and Facebook.
And it's spelled with an A.
Yep.
Arik.
ARIK.
McGathy,
Yep.
common spelling.
Yep.
All right, you guys, we will see you again next week, and we're going to be back on our game Tuesdays at 11:30 for Do That But Better. Have a great year.
All right. See ya.